Dan, thank you very much for joining me. My question, first one, is very simple. What's next for Khamenei? He's now a marked man. Can he just simply sit outside and carry on as he did?
That's been a pattern. They suppress rounds of protest with violence. It appeared to be different this time because the Iranian regime seems weaker in a variety of ways. They are humiliated by having been somewhat thrashed by Israel and then the US in the June 12-day war. Their economy is in a perhaps unprecedentedly desperate situation. The rial has collapsed since June by about 50%. There's real anger at the government, and their whole regional chaos project has been falling apart because their proxies have been significantly weakened. There was a sense that given all this, maybe this time it could be different. Also because the U.S. Has a leadership right now that is unpredictable and may be less cautious. If they sensed blood and they felt that there was a win here potentially for the West by bringing down the regime. Last week, Trump suggested as much by urging protesters to take over their institutions and to continue protesting, saying in big capital letters in a tweet, help is on its way. But he seems to have backed down. That could be a misdirection. They could be only pretending to have backed down. The result so far has been a great degree of economic dislocation in the region. Flights have been canceled, troops have been moved, tourists have been asked to leave. Business in some places has been badly disrupted, all because of the anticipation of what could be a war that could escalate very quickly if Iran then goes and attacks Israel, which they basically said they would. And yet nothing has happened. So if Trump really does back down, it's quite possible that Khamenei is betting correctly that he can eventually suppress the protests with enough violence. On the other hand, there's another scenario where this is not allowed to continue and the U.S. takes action.
All right, Dan, let's also talk about the fact that it was only earlier today that Trump had thanked Iran for, stopping the executions and for the protests coming down. And then Khamenei goes on and issues this statement accusing Trump and Israel of fueling the unrest. Not just that, but also for the killings of the demonstrators. How do you see these statements and the timings that they have been issued?
Khamenei is playing a very dangerous game. It's conceivable that Trump is willing to let him off the hook if a narrative can be built where, because of Trump's intervention and threats, the killing really stopped. You see Trump saying, well, the killing stopped. Obviously, he's taking credit for it. And from his perspective, that may be sufficient to move on to the next crisis, real or manufactured. But remember that Khamenei has a real advantage here in that Trump, unlike previous U.S. presidents, is not a promoter of democracy. The American National Security Strategy, released last month, basically bins decades of bipartisan consensus in America that the U.S. should be promoting democracy and therefore would be a natural enemy of the Iranian Islamic Republic and would be seeking regime change. Trump doesn't care about democracy. He cares about appearing to register wins. He cares about looking tough. He cares about claiming he stopped wars he did not stop. It's very different from Trump if you can help him build a narrative that he can sell to credulous supporters as a win. Khamenei is playing a very dangerous game in issuing these bellicose statements. It may be that he misunderstands the advantage that he can tap if only he let Trump take his win. And so if he keeps embarrassing Trump with statements as he has today, I think the tables may turn yet again.
All right, Sean, Dan, thanks for your assessment of the situation.